Hello. So, just managed to solve a massive problem, one which I think will mean I've finished this project, which is absolutely amazing. So I've got the, I don't know what stage I got up to in the last video, but yeah, I can remember actually. I'd put the new engine in, obviously, and then I'd knackered this coolant sensor, so it meant that the fan was coming on all the time. But since I've ordered a new one and attached that, the fan's not coming on all the time, which leads me to believe that this is working, even though it's the wrong sort of model. The looming is a bit different. Then I'd taken the oil filter cap off, and on the advice of everybody online, I needed to bleed the oil system. So in there is a bolt where it's a bleed bolt basically, and it's got a negative, you know, just thread, screw thread, and I didn't quite have the correct spanner, so I kind of basically ended up fucking the thread up by using anything I could find, and only stopped once I'd kind of really messed the thread up. Went up to the garage up the road and asked the guys if I could borrow a screwdriver. Tried everything with all the things they lent me, didn't work, and now I've just come back from wheeling this up the road, which was very heavy, to the garage to see if they could have a go at it. Both the mechanics agreed that I'd fucked the screw up, and the only option was to drill through, but that would mean I'd have to just take the engine apart, which was what I was avoiding in the first place, because I'd get the drill filings into the oil system, which you can't deal with. I'd have to clean it out properly. But then he was just asking why I needed to get that bolt out, and he suggested, he pointed to this and said, well, is that the oil pressure sensor? Which it is indeed. And he said, well, why don't you just undo that and keep pumping the engine until oil comes out of there? And so I've just done that. As you can see, you've got oil running down here and here. Then took the spark plugs out again, pumped it, and oil came out, reattached it, pumped it again, and the oil light was going out, which means I have oil pressure, which is monumentally fantastic. This is like the best thing that's happened so far. So that means I can reattach the gas tank and start the engine up, so I'm going to do that now. Can you hear that? That's the sound of an engine working. Nearly fucking crying, I'm so happy. It fucking works. There's a lot of fumes coming off. I don't know if that's because I've not attached the exhaust properly. I don't know if that's because I've not done the gaskets properly. It's blowing, isn't it? Or is that just because it's heating up? There is things coming out of there, but it looks like there's a lot of fumes coming out of there. I don't know why, but it's working. The engine works. And look at that. That's moving too. Nearly crying that I'm just so fucking happy that it fucking works. I linked everything up and it didn't work at first, so I changed the spark plugs to the spark plugs from my old bike. And that was the problem, the spark plugs are fucked. And there you go, we've got a working mechanical bike. I think I need to look at the exhaust though, because it looks like it's blowing from near the exhaust outlet, which isn't good. So I don't know if that's not attached properly, but it's drawing in air. It's fine. Carbs are pumping okay. See it there? And the fan's on. Absolutely amazing. Where's all the stuff gone? It's back on the bike. I've managed to pretty much finish this, which I'm pretty happy about. There we go. All the plastics are back on. They're a bit of a ball ache really. The only thing I need to do now is get this old chain off. It's a rivet one. See there? I mean, it's pretty rusty. I suppose I could probably get some more use out of it, but the problem is it's been cut too short. It just won't seem to fit over here for some reason. So I'm going to have to break it off somehow using something, I don't know what yet, and buy a new chain, which is probably a good idea. I mean, the back sprocket looks okay, the teeth look fine on it, and the front sprocket I barely use, it's a new one. And then fingers crossed it works. So my engine starts up. The engine works. This is about the alignment of the rear wheel now, and getting it all to work mechanically. I'm a little bit worried about this back brake, because when I had a bit of a problem, it seems a little, I don't know, funnily aligned. I don't seem to be able to get the sprocket cover on very well, but I think that's because of this wire here. I don't know how to tuck this out of the way. Even if I get it, excuse me, even if I get it right down there, I can't seem to get the sprocket cover back on. And I can see perhaps maybe where this engine's been in a crash before. I've not seen this previously, but if you look at this big metallic gouge here, it doesn't look very positive, does it? So that suggests to me that this engine has been in some kind of crash or something from the side. But it works, as I'll show you now. Well, it did before. For some reason it keeps doing that. I'm not sure if it's the I don't know if it's the fuse or one of the fuses is going a bit funny.